Welcome everybody to another edition of Monday Madness with Pops and the Richness. And right now, we are here with Homebrewed Comics. I don't know if y'all know what's up over there.
Homebrewed Comics! Yeah. Which is funny because I got my ass to brew right now, players. So, holy crap. I mean, this is like Persephone. No, wait. What is that? What's that word again? Serendipity. Yeah, one of those big words and stuff. Who is this fine, handsome gentleman I'm speaking with or looking at right now?
Well, we're going to let him introduce himself and tell us a little bit about his project, and then we'll show it off.
Yeah, please do. I got to have a beer.
My name's Chris. I'm from Homebrewed Comics. I'm the creator of the book Crit. We are on Kickstarter right now with our 5th issue. It's book 4, but it's the 5th issue of it, issue 0 out there.
Wow.
Yep, we got 4 days left, just under $3,000, 104 backers, completely crushed every one of my goals. So killing it. Very thankful to everybody that's jumped on. I announced this the other day. I do have my own stuffed animal in there now, our stuffed cat.
Yep. Oh my God.
So
oh man, I want one. Holy God, that's
awesome. Very, very fluffy. If you've read the book, you know Samedi.
Hi, Natalie.
Hey, Nats, what's up?
That is my beautiful wife there. And
Hi, Dory.
So this book, I decided I was going to get this guy made right here because who has a stuffed cat based off of a voodoo god in their book. And so he's an alcoholic, and he has his own special cover. If you go to the page right now, you'll see the cover by Robert Nix. And yep, if you check it
what's
out.
The name of it again, please? I'd like to take a look at
it. I got it.
It's
it right here, bud.
Sticks and Bones.
I got you.
And you can see Samedi has had a very bad day there. That he got into the rum a little bit too much. So he enjoys cigars, he enjoys rum, and in this book, he gets to indulge a little bit. But for 4 days left, 104 backers. We funded in an hour. It was pretty ridiculous. This guy, I just got him sent in last week, and I put the order in for the full 50 that I've got coming. They should be here in about 3 weeks. So just in time for fulfillment. The demand behind the stuffed cat was pretty high. I had a lot of requests just on my website and on my Instagram just for the stuffed cat. People that weren't even reading the books were like, hey, can I get that cat somewhere? So I thought that was pretty cool. Samedi has a small fan base of his own. But yeah, we have definitely
Samedi. Now I have to throw it. Who's Samedi named after?
So Baron Samedi, the god, the voodoo god. He took the persona of the voodoo god. He is not the Baron Samedi from voodoo like culture. His name's spelled differently. He has a persona similar to him. He's based his own persona off of that because in our book, he's what's called a guide, and they take on the form and personality of the culmination of whatever imagination in the area that they come into. And so clearly he came to life in an area that was very prominent in voodoo culture, and he takes on the form of a cat because his personality, he just likes to annoy the crap out of people and does whatever he wants. And if
they're usually emotionally distant.
Oh, he's very emotionally distant.
Okay, that works too.
It's so the book.
I'm reading here this quick synopsis here. About nice graphics, by the way. They look really cool.
Thank you. I worked really hard on that.
Eventually, gain powers, accident work. As with any tabletop games, outcomes depend on how the players roll the dice.
Mm-hmm.
Are there fates and or abilities tied in somehow on a certain spiritual or physical level with the way that the dice roll, and can that be changed?
Yes. So the entire story is written and played out in our game once a month. So everything is determined by how my players roll the dice, everything you see. So if you're reading the book and somebody has a bad day, say one of the guys just gets taken down, and even by a cheap shot from an enemy, that means either I rolled really well and they rolled really bad, or they just rolled terribly that day. If you read book 1, it ends in a very unique way. I've been told that the ending of book 1 was very unique, and that's because they just all rolled terribly that entire game. I got the upper hand as the DM, and kind of they lost that day, which isn't very common in a lot of superhero books. You don't see the main characters go out on the first book, but I took them out. And my job as the dungeon master is to give them a bad day every time. I try to kill them every game. It just so happens that sometimes they roll really well, and sometimes actually in this book I was the Bones character, and they rolled pretty bad for quite a while, and it plays out very interestingly. So if you played Dungeons and Dragons, what we did, my idea was, hey, if you're playing D&D and you play a cleric, or you play a warlock, or you play any of these classes, your magical abilities essentially make you a superhero. So I changed all the settings. I kind of streamlined the character creation process into archetypes for each one, and I let them pick a certain archetype. So like Boulder was based off of All Might and Eddie Murphy. If Eddie Murphy became All Might, that's essentially what Boulder is. And when I pitched the game, the game to my friends, they were,
God, why? First pineapple on pizza, now this? What are you doing, man? God.
I actually love the concept of letting.
It says it here. It's like Police Academy, the other guys, Beverly Hills Cop, My Hero Academia, the boys, Bad Boys. God, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. I can't. It's lovely. Oh, my God. I have to bite into the slice with the pineapple. All right. All right.
I love the concept.
Very good. Are you the writer or the artist on this thing?
I'm both. So I write it and I draw it.
Yeah. Hello, brother.
Rich does that
too. I know how to draw so I could do the book. When we first set out for this, I didn't know what I was doing. So I taught myself how to draw. My wife was my biggest critic in the entire process. So you get to see the evolution.
You have someone who's close to you, but also can be objective. That's a good thing. It's a very good thing.
We're going on 16 years together.
You're a really good tandem. Ooh, cat lover.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, that can mean a lot of things depending on the state you live in, or the country for that matter. The whole shebang. It's shebang. I'm being a dick. I'm sorry. Let me see. Physical edition of Crit number 4, Yosemite, variant cover by Robert Nix. You have a lot here. Wow. And this is a very reasonable, this is a more than reasonable amount for your reward for all that yummy stuff you got there, man.
Yeah. I try to be as reasonable as possible. I have I have 2 full-time jobs, and this is a passion project. I've always felt like if I'm trying to get my name out there and I'm trying to grow the brand, I've got to make it accessible to people. So as long as I can break even, make a little bit of profit to put into the next book, which is what I've been able to do every single Kickstarter, then that's what I'm going to do. I have overfunded every single Kickstarter, luckily. And I think a lot of that comes to the fact that I look at all my rewards as, if I were going to back this, what would I pay? And I look at, what it costs me. I'm blessed. I do have a printer that's very reasonable cost. I have a lot of connections between one of my jobs where I'm able to get some of this stuff a little bit lower cost.
Good. Exploit them.
Yeah, in turn, it allows me to give a better cost to the customers, and I'm a firm believer that I'm a nobody. I'm not going to sit here and ask for $20 for a 20-page book.
Well, first off, no one with any kind of common sense does that unless they're all like gatefold, tripled page spread, metallic cover crapola, which I despise. Yeah. I'm looking at all this stuff here. Now, when you write your story, now Do you write alongside your ability to like? Do you write as you draw, or do you draw to influence your writing?
So I record the game sessions, and then so a month before I start drawing, I put the game session on my phone. When I'm at the gym, I'm listening to it. When I'm in the car, I'm listening to it. I mean, just some nights when I'm doing my work, I'll be listening to that session, getting a feel for, because this stuff happened about 2 years ago for us. And so I'm listening to the whole flow of the session. And while I'm doing that, I'm in my head going, well, how can I translate this into, storyboards for someone to understand? Because if you've played D&D, it's always chaos. Always chaos.
Yeah, but I mean, I have to. I mean, for me, I mean, it's. I'm glad that you see it and you're able to put it in a sequential order. I can see that too. It's just the laying out of the events. The only thing the one thing that I know of is that when you're storyboarding something like that, you see, comics are far different from a storyboard in and of itself, because storyboards they give you like a picture of the slightest part that you do with the camera. But when you, I'm serious. But when you have a comic book page, you need to tell that same part of the story within like a 4 or 5 panel thing. That's sometimes not easy. What persuaded you? I mean, what were you first, the writer or the artist first?
So first, I was the writer. I had just
What
taken.
made you want to become the artist?
We had played the first session, and the guys had talked about it for an entire month, and we hadn't played D&D together in 10 years. We hadn't hung out in 10 years. I had talked to a few of the guys here and there, and we used to play every Sunday night for 2 years when we lived in the same city. We just played every single night, and nice. It had been 10 years. I was like, hey guys, we're all older now. We have families, wives, like kids, like full-time careers, things like that. I kind of missed the days when we would eat pizza and just kill shit for fun. So I brought everybody back in. And at first we were like, is it going to be weird? Some of us haven't literally even talked in 10 years, but it wasn't. It was just like we had picked up where we left off. And so
that's how it usually happens. Never doubt anything like that. Never doubt something that brings everybody together. And then all of a sudden
they were questioning it. And I was like, no, I mean, we got on 10 years ago. Some of them were like, well, we hadn't talked in 10 years. I was like, we haven't changed as people. We're still the same people. And it kind of blew everybody away. Like I said, for 30 days, we were just like, when are we going to play again? And we kept talking about that one session. So I sat down in my free time and I just started sketching, because I used to sketch some stuff. When we played D&D last time, I would just sketch out random things, nothing really sequential. But this is the first time I was like, well, screw it. This would make a really funny comic book. And so I just made this. It was very low talent. It was just a sketch kind of book. And if somebody backed the Indiegogo, they actually got it as a reward with my Indiegogo. I printed it. But I just sketched it out, and I actually was very proud of it. I went to my wife and my dad, and I was like, hey, I made this comic book. And the response I got was, oh, that's okay. And it kind of, it didn't really hurt my feelings, but it motivated me. I was like, well, if it's just okay, and I sat here for like 3 months working on this thing, then I need to do better. And
I'm buying you the first 3 rounds. We have stories. Trust me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry for interrupting.
You're perfectly fine.
I have to admit, I'm listening to your history, and I'm looking at some of the stuff. I'm really vibing with you when it comes to this, because it's like, you work 2 jobs, you're married, you have all this other stuff. You go to the gym, you keep yourself in shape, which means you're very diligent in your duties as a man and as a husband and all that other lovely jazz. And then you still have the audacity, the wonderful audacity to put something like this together. And that I have to say that's really remarkable. You really should pat yourself on the back and not say that you're some little dinky artist or whatever the hell. This takes a lot. Trust me. No, it really does. It takes a lot out of you. It really does. It takes a piece of your freaking soul.
I'm sitting here in this stream with 2 guys that do all the art. They do all the writing of their story. They work their asses off. They both, right. And it's like, I see Rich going, "Don't you belittle yourself." At the same time, Rich would be like, "I don't know how my campaign got what I got. I don't get it." It's
That's
because you
between
guys
you
are
and me.
humble.
That's between you and me. Bearing my soul in front of all these people instead of this guy who I just met.
You did that
I would have
live.
told him anyway, but now I can't
live.
tell him because now my feelings are hurt now.
Why? You did that live. I didn't do it. You did it.
Look at my face. Look at
Dude, we
my
love
face.
you. Look. You guys both, like I said, you guys kick ass. You guys do the work, man. You guys put in the work. And you're both like,
I do, yes, but so does he. Congratulations, man. Really, truly. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. And your campaign deserved to be funded in an hour. No joke. Dory Jones. So true. Dory Jones says that. I think Dory wants to. I don't know if Dory wants to join us or not. I think she said she wants. I think she's going to be here, but whatever. Anyway, now this is your 5th issue. You had an issue 0. You said, correct?
Right. So that first issue I put together that I told you was very, in retrospect, very lackluster. It's more of a webtoon than it would be for a printed comic book. I'm not adverse to knowing my own limitations with that. And I had shown it to a few of my friends. They have a company called Slate Comics. They're actually hitting Kickstarter today with their first book. And they had done some cover work for me. They were, trying to break into comic books, and I had put a lot of work in with some of their stuff, and I created a good friendship with them. I get a message one day, and Nate was like, "I want to redraw your issue 0 for you as a thank you." The tablet that I had drawn the issue 0 on, I no longer needed. I found out Nate had been drawing all of his work on a cell phone, and it was ridiculous, the kid's talent. And he lived in Australia. So I talked to a few of my friends. I said, "Hey, if you guys each chip in like $20, I can ship him this tablet, and he can start drawing on a tablet instead of on a phone." And so I gave him my tablet. And as a thank you, he did a book for me. And so I was able to put a book 0 out. Now I did go to Indiegogo. I raised some money. I had given him and his brother Jack most of that money to, as a thank you. They were going to do it for free. I was like, no artist puts that much work into something and gets nothing. So, I gave them a little bit of money for that. It wasn't, I actually never really thought we'd have an issue 0, and they did that for me. So I was blessed. So yeah, 0, 1, 2, and 3 are printed and shipped in people's hands. And book 4, I just submitted everything to the colorist this week. So that should be back to me within about 2 weeks, and then we'll start the editing and lettering process. So I also do all the lettering. The guys in here in the center on that page, they do a lot of the editing with me. They're probably 2 of my best friends. The guy Boulder and Caliber.
Excellent. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, everybody gets involved.
You have a crew with you. That's really exemplary. Good. I'm glad you do. I'm happy you do. It makes your life a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, and the amazing thing about my friends is they're the first ones to give me the tough criticism that nobody else will. And my wife is in there, my father's in there. I need that. I've always been a very firm believer that I'm not going to grow unless you tell me the truth. I don't want to surround myself with yes people. And so every time I start a book, my wife, I'll go and show her some of the pages, and she's amazing. She's a phenomenal artist. She's a phenomenal photographer, and she'll look at something and go like, well, your arm needs to be here. Or it's an ongoing joke that when I first started drawing, I had no clue how to draw a crotch, and she used to fix all the crotches for me. She told me I was drawing women. And
I'm going to leave that one alone. Do not say anything like that to me. Do not. This is a warning. It's the first time we've met. I give you one warning, and if you say anything like that again, you've no idea how Mjolnir is restraining himself right now. Because there's about 1,000 innuendos just there that I just thought of. Well, let me ask you a question. You said your wife is a photographer. She's also an artist. What kind of art does she do?
She does traditional painting, so she doesn't realize it.
So she has a good idea of composition and all that stuff.
Oh, she has a phenomenal eye. I will go to my deathbed telling you that she can see something and fix it before I can even figure out what was wrong with the picture. She does composite work. So right now she's actually working on taking this woman and her horse and turning the horse into a unicorn. Yeah, she is a unbelievably talented artist. And so I'm blessed to have her in my corner, because I can tell you right now, my artwork would not be where it is without her constant feedback. And we were best friends for 11 years before we got married. So she's not afraid to tell me how she feels, ever. If something doesn't look good, she's the first one to point it out.
And yes, that is her blushing. That is her blushing. That is her blushing.
Blush. Is that her?
Yeah, she's on Facebook. I know she's actually working right now.
Her name is Facebook?
I wish we'd be rich.
Her name is Natalie.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's
her name is Natalie.
What's Fluffy?
The cat.
The cat.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm like, you said crotch. She says Fluffy. I'm like, oh my God. Stop. I am the king of the most of, well, not the king, like the court jester, but I'm within that ruling party of really, really, truly offensive and tasteless jokes and timing. And you're just throwing them out there, and I'm like, like the shark who needs to swim. It's not helping. I'm gonna die if I don't do anything about this. Now, so let me ask you, what other question can I ask you? How far? We were talking. Oh, Jesus Christ, she's sick as hell.
She will fuel the fire. She really will.
What's her name?
Natalie.
Natalie?
Yep.
The opinions in the following broadcast are not necessarily the opinions of the Monday Madness Comic Talks and Pop Fans and related matters, its staff and contributors and sponsors. This show is TVMA. Viewer discretion is advised.
We have to cover the bases,
Yeah, we do. We do. I feel like Donkey, and I'm like, oh man, she as nasty as you are. How given the responses that you've had, you funded this in an hour. Congratulations. That's a nice feat. Whatever it is, it's a wonderful feat. Congrats. And you're on your 5th issue. I have to really applaud your longevity.
Thank you.
I applaud that, because it's rare I ever see like an issue 2 or an issue 3 with some of the books that I've seen in Kickstarter. Like they go, it's like a one pump chump, or like a one and done, or whatever it's supposed to be with some of these things that I've seen. Yours is different because you care about it.
I've got 36 issues planned. I'm on issue 27 written right now.
Well, I feel inadequate because I only have 12 right now. I feel like I'm less than average. Jesus, man, that's crazy. Wow. How often do you put these things out?
Right now, I'm hitting about every 3 months. I'm able to put one out.
Quarterly. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
how many pages for each one?
So I launched book 1 July of last year, and I put out book 4 July of this year. So yeah, there'll be 6 books in a year, but I will say that I had issue 0 was done by somebody else, luckily. But that's still 5 books in a year, and let's see. So they're roughly 26 to 32 pages on average. So
okay.
I'm averaging right now 28 pages, but this one I've been trying to keep myself at the 26 page mark because I always go over. Every time I have a plan, I'll start drawing and I'll want to elaborate on something. So I'm trying to keep myself at the 26 page mark. So yeah, we're going to come in this one for the first time. I'll be able to hit 26 pages. That for printing, it's a printing cost. It's a retail cost. I do have distribution. And so looking at the retailers for the cost that I want to put my book on a shelf. I want to keep myself competitive, and to do that, I need to stay within a certain page range so I can, compete with the big guys on that shelf space.
Nice.
Very good. Have you considered one more question from me before Pops takes over? Have you considered an ISBN number for anything that you do?
Yes. So that's one thing I am looking into. ISBN. I actually just got lawyers for trademark capability. I've got to get all that stuff given.
Those take a while.
But yeah, I've done the copyrights on stuff.
I copyrighted my character, and I made sure that my character is like with me. It's like if anybody decides to draw her without my permission, I can sue the shit out of them, and just be a really terrifying lawyer. But do that as soon as you possibly can, because you've already established what it seems like. Not even so much a franchise, but a continuous continuity of it. Because the books that we all remember from Image, happen to be Spawn or Savage Dragon. It's because they've been around forever and they're consistent, and your consistency speaks volumes for the ability that I see in your drawing.
Thank you.
You happen to be pretty damn good, and without trying to toot my own horn, this is from a Marvel and DC Comics pro. You know what you're doing.
I really appreciate that because
I appreciate that. I appreciate you showing us what is that a cat? All right, no. Okay.
It better be a cat. It's a big spider.
Well, was down my leg, and I was like, oh wow. Do I know you? No, I don't. But no, but it's like fuck. I threw myself off. That happens sometimes. You're really good, and I truly wish you the best of luck. And I'm sorry that this campaign is ending in 4 days because I would have backed it. You're coming out in another 3 months, right? Correct? For the next one?
Yes. So issue 5, I've already got the covers in progress. I've already got the script done for it. I just want to give 4 some breathing room. So I plan on coming back to Kickstarter in October. I don't want to do a November, December campaign because those usually fail pretty miserably.
It'll wipe you out, and that's kiss to death.
Yep. So I plan on coming back.
Unless everybody else avoids it, and you're the only campaign that's out there in November, December, and hey, I'll just beat everybody else.
So I want to do October. That'll put my issue 5 out, and that'll allow me, because my goal since last year has been to start off 2022 with issue 6 because it closes out my first chapter. And so that way I can do issue 6 and I can do a graphic novel, put everything into one big book for everybody.
There you go.
And also beginning first quarter next year, I have started talking to a animation studio about bringing Crit to animation and pitching that. So there's a actual film studio. They've done quite a bit. So we're in, that's Q1 2022. I want to have first chapter done so I can at least script that and pitch the entire season in one big hoorah. So
can't wait I'm looking forward to being able to come out and talk about that now. What do you know?
I feel like getting popcorn so I can see the first movie and stuff.
I'll tell you what.
Do me a big favor. Me a favor. When this thing becomes a movie, do not have Zac Efron play anything in this fucking movie.
No.
And if you put Ryan Reynolds in it, I'm not going to see it.
No, I don't want Ryan Reynolds either.
Because Ryan Reynolds is in every goddamn movie in the world now.
Him and The Rock, they're everywhere.
Oh, I know, right? It's like both of them are like dumb as a fucking tree stump, and they're like the new Ben Stillers, both of them, and they're twice as funny as Ben Stiller because Ben Stiller sucks, but so do they.
Chris, tell everybody where they can find you because it's time. It's that time where we have to
hurry up before I keep talking.
It's that time where we get to introduce you to the next guy. So go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you.
Yep. So homebrewedcomics.com. I'm Homebrewed Comics on Instagram. Homebrewed Comics on Facebook. On Facebook is an X, not a CS, because that was taken. On Kickstarter, just search Crit Sticks and Bones. I'll pull right up. If you can't find it anywhere, just go to homebrewedcomics.com. It's right there on the landing page. You'll be able to find the Kickstarter. We got 4 days left. It ends Friday at 6:30. And like I said, we're at 104 backers, almost $3,000. Pretty much everything's unlocked. So thank you all so much. Hey, Pops, Rich, thank you so much. This was a great show. Probably the best one I've been on. Rich, you're hilarious. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Hey, one second before you go. I'm looking for the homebrew comics thing. Is the icon like a blue Beerstein?
No, I'll put it in the chat for you guys.
Please, because I'm kind of retarded with this stuff.
There you go. That right there is in the private chat.
Yay, that's so sexy. I'm going to take care of it now. Thank you.
All right, Chris, don't jump right out. I want to. I don't know if you know Sam or not, but I want to introduce you to Sam.
I did a show with Sam a few months ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I like to make sure
I never met him, so now I'm going to meet him today.
You know.
So now I'm all loose and everything.
All you guys go check out Crit. 4 days left. Chris, make sure you share your live countdown stream in the madness, because that'll be like right before the Friday pre-con show. The timing is perfect.
Okay.
You know, I mean, CromCon 16 this weekend, you know, the timing is perfect, and I'll simulcast it on my channel.
Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, I'll post the link in the madness. And Rich, are you counting me down?
No, that's 1-6. That's CromCon 16.
But Sam, good seeing you again.
Too,
Rich is great. So you guys are having a good show. Thank you all so much for letting me come on here and talk with you guys.
You bet.
The honor's ours, and really good luck with everything you do. And I will be the first one to get a ticket when it shows up here in Britain, because they show shit in Britain before they show it in the U.S. Bye.
Truth.
All right, guys.
Door the God.
Who's that? What's that? Skeletor the God? All right. Okay.
Skeletor the God. That's Outcast Owls. Outcast Owls is another YouTube channel that does podcasts and stuff. That's that guy. That's that guy. Outcast Owls.
Skeletor the God.
Sam,
okay, cool.
How you doing, Sam?
Good. I just made it. I came in from the city. I was like racing. I was like, I gotta get there. What's up, guys? Yeah, so don't mind the mess. I'm moving to Texas, so I'm packing everything.
Oh, you know what? Forget it. Kick him off the effing show because they got him flop. Who is this guy? Did you pay? I hope so. Wait, you came home from work, so you were on that like bus and everything where everybody's all huddled and stinky, huh?
No, I was driving.
Oh, you were driving. Oh, okay. Fancy pants. Whatever. Forgive me. I am the co-host, and I was very derelict in whatever duties I was going to do when it came to researching this. If you're, are you running a campaign now?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to put it up.
Is it Kickstarter or Indiegogo? What's the title of it, by the way?
Forbidden.
We're going to put it up.
On Kickstarter.
Forbidden.
Kickstarter Forbidden. Damn, that's fucking sexy. I love that shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm like, I got one hand under the desk already, ready to go.
We're right there.
Let me see. Forbidden.
Dropping.
You know, if I look at Forbidden, there's probably going to be like 80 titles or something.
All right.
Let me take a look. I got to look for it myself. Rude Awakening, right?
Rude Awakening, yes.
Okay. Oh, wow. Wait, I've seen this.
Yeah, he posts in the madness on a regular basis, like a smart man does.
Holy shit. Look at this art.
Yes, that's Eric Ifata who did that cover for me. It's the wraparound cover for the.
Farted? What did he say? What was that?
Yeah. So Ifata.
Oh, okay. Don't tell him I said that. If he's watching, hey, watch out with that gap. Anyway,
but yeah, that's the wraparound cover for the collected edition, which is the graphic novel, which will be down the road.
That's fantastic. Oh my God, this guy's like Boris. He's like Boris Vallejo. Oh Jesus, God, look at this guy. I'm gushing over the cover.
But the interior art is by Anibal Arroyo.
Okay, let me take a look at this guy. Okay, he has a good commanding of, yeah, all right. Dramatic close-up, angry face, more angry face. This is good stuff.
Thank you.
It's good stuff. I'm digging I'm looking at preview book number 1 where the guy's like screaming in agony, like everybody does.
Yes.
And yeah, I like this. This is good stuff. I like this is coloring's really good.
See, one of the things that I have a bad habit of doing is when I know somebody's going to be on the show, I never look at the campaign until I have them on the show. You know what I mean? It's like, unless it's like somebody I already know and we're following their preview and all that, you know. But if I have somebody lined up to be on the show like you, you know, it's like, I was like, man, I don't want to look at it. I'm going to wait till I get him on the show. We're going to look at it while he's here. I'm going to look at it while he's here so we can get, you know, straight up answers and what, you know, whatnot, and give our response right here live. And I'm kind of glad Rich didn't look at it either, because we're you know, we're getting first look at this. And there's 10 days
I would have
to
been
go.
mad if I saw this before. I mean, this is just like really good stuff.
Dude, there's 10 days to go on this, Rich. We can work this one a bit.
Let's
We
see.
can work this one all through prom-com.
10 days left. You've made your goal already. Congratulations.
Yes, the issue 0 was launched on Indiegogo, and then so the feedback was bring it to Kickstarter for issue number 1. So we launched it here, and you know, I was definitely surprised because in 2 hours we made the goal, and so that was exciting because I wrote this in 2000. You know, I wrote this back. You know, I wrote this in 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
How the fuck old are you?
Ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies. So
give me a goddamn break. We're not women here. How old are you? What the frick? No, I'm trying to sell you some anti-age cream here.
Hold up.
What are you looking? You have to look at your license in order to figure out how old you are.
No, I'm trying to get a look at man right here.
You look damn young. What were you, like 5 when you thought of this thing?
No, there's a little bit of gray in that chin there. There's a little bit gray in that beard. There's some gray there.
You have a better phone camera than I do, or whatever it is, man. Because I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at our esteemed guest here, and I'm like, you had to have been like 12 when you wrote this shit. So I'm like, you had this brewing for the better part of 2 decades. What persuaded you to all of a sudden release it now?
So the story, you know, I was producing comics in the early 2000s, and
really, okay,
I released Forbidden issue 0 and 1 back then, and it was well received by critics and by fans. And then I left comics for over 10 years. I just walked. Well, it was. It was. All the money was going out, and the money wasn't coming in. So it was putting a strain on my family. So I had to make a choice, and so I walked away for 10 years. And then once everything, you know, and I focused on, you know, the corporate world and you know, the real life 9 to 5. And once everything got stabilized, and after 10 years, you know, I was talking to my wife, and I said, look, you know, I don't want to sit on, you know, the porch on a rocker asking myself, what if? And so I need to finish what I started. And so she says, go for it. And so it was like Adrian telling Rocky, you know. And so I was like, all right, I'm going in. And so I dusted off Forbidden, and I finished the series, and I commissioned an artist to finish it because Anibal did issues 0 and 1. And I had to find an artist to finish the rest of it. It's 168 pages to collect it. And so it's the whole series is done. It's lettered, it's inked, it's, you know, it's completed. And the colorist is up to page 75 right now. So the campaigns pay for the colorist because I paid for the artist out of pocket. And I did this before I even considered Kickstarter. And it was me talking to a buddy of mine, JD Calderon, who said, you know, you should launch it. Yes. So he.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah. He's our friend.
Is JD there? JD, if you're there, you're scrub. Anyway.
So, you know, he educated me on crowdfunding, and you know, we launched Catch the Crazies, which is a different book that I create based on the podcast. And successfully, we're up to issue 4 now. And so I knew that I was going to do Forbidden, so I said, let me try it on Indiegogo because I'm already on Kickstarter with Catch the Crazies, and that's why I started on Indiegogo, and we did well. And now I'm bringing the whole campaign here. So this is issue 1, and then this follow-up will be issue 2.
Very ambitious. Very ambitious. I'm looking at some of these other pages here. You have your standard cover, your gold cover, and your sketch cover. All 2 of them by Annabelle. Annabelle's a talent.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's
Samuel. Is that you?
That's me.
Yeah,
that's you. Gold cover.
Yes, I did the one, the king holding his face.
All right. Anyway, let's go to the other ones. That's fucked up. I can't believe I said that shit.
That's something that would happen at a bar.
I had to. It was right in the middle, and I'm like, I had to because the previous guest, he was teasing me with all this stuff, and his wife was just as evil, and I'm like, and then I was like, oh, I gotta. So I'm gonna do it. But do you mind if I look at your cover for a second?
Sure.
It looks really good.
Thank you, sir.
Coming from as I said with the other dude, you know what I like? I like that there's considerable talent coming out of nowhere, but what's considered nowhere,
right,
in the comics industry, because obviously, just by default, we think Marvel, DC, and maybe even Image at certain intervals.
Right.
But there's stuff that's coming out that's entirely original, and pushes the boundaries. That's what I love about indie books, and I'm really digging what you have here so far. I really am. And it's not even so much a so far thing. I just dig it, and now we're going down, and it's just like I really got to tell you, it's like when you push all of it, push all that stuff, and you love it as much as you do, it's evident, and I can see that you really love what you're doing.
Yes, these characters have been a part of me forever. And so I knew that I was going to release it. I didn't know if I was going to finish it as a prose or as the comic book, and I decided to start with the comic book and finish it. So I'm glad that it's a mini series. It's finished. It can go on, but that'll be based on the reception. But my next step is to write it as a prose.
How's your reception so far?
It's good. I think it's been hard because coming back in during COVID, really, I had plans to go out to the public and connect with people. So, I've been gone for so long, and then trying to build my name online, it's challenging when there's not a face to the name and all that stuff. And we tried through the podcast and everything. So I just did a convention in Bucks County, PA called ZoloCon. And it was well received, and it was refreshing to see that people were picking it up, and people were interested in the getting the second issue on Kickstarter. So that was exciting. So it was like a validation for me, because I believe you have to make that connection. It's harder online because everybody's online, and so there's a lot of noise online. So and people invest in people, and so how do I get to those people? And how do I get to pitch them my idea? Because you said it earlier, I was listening to your show, there's so much talent in crowdfunding right now. So how do you know which one do you want to take a chance on?
What's worse about it, see, there's a caveat to that also. There might be a plethora of talent, but there's also a plethora of suck. Like a real deep plethora of like absolute total complete suck. And I've seen a few, not on this show, but I've seen quite a bit. And
even if they were on in this show, he ain't gonna say so.
I'm talking about, Pop. What the hell are you talking about, man? Why you gotta put me on a spot like that? Anyway, plead the fifth.
I won't say so either. I won't say so either. I'm a hype man. I'm not a critic.
I am.
That's why I got rich. See, that way I can sit here
I'm a
and
private
smile.
critic more than anything else. I'll just be like, God, you suck. But
so Pop has the binoculars and Rich has the rifle. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially after I get a couple of these bruises in me. That's some fun shit, man. I swear to God.
I figured out how to not be the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy.
I figured it out.
Drink the next one, bad guy. Yeah.
You need people like me.
Well, one thing I do want to say about your campaign: don't ever use papyrus ever again.
Papyrus. I'm not using. That's not papyrus. The who?
It's the new Comic Sans.
Yes.
The fonts, papyrus, the font.
Yeah.
It's like forbidden. It's like blah, blah. Oh my! I'm like, holy Avatar, Batman.
The forbidden text is not papyrus.
I'm looking at some of the things. I'm being a dick.
It looks like it, but it's not.
No. The title itself is not forbidden. It's not papyrus, but If you go like Forbidden Issue 0 Digital Edition, I'm like, oh shit, he's using papyrus. Not fun.
Where? No, that's
It's on your rewards thing. As you scroll down, it's like you have those. They look like maps.
Oh yeah.
They look like maps. All these reward things.
Yeah,
God damn, you have a lot of swag.
Yes.
You're like Walmart. You have everything.
Yeah, I know. I think it was like sometimes
Bless you.
Again, it was
Bless you.
Wise guy.
I'm sorry. 1 second. Bless you. All right, you're welcome. Okay. Anyway, please continue.
So one of the things was, because we launched it on Indiegogo, and there were things. Then we didn't. I think it was like, I don't know, under 50 backers, and so I was like, all right. So how do let me bring what was on Indiegogo to issue 1 as add-ons, so that way anybody who missed it, who's seeing this for the first time. And so yes, I did flood it.
Well, let me ask you a question. Concerning that. Now, I personally don't mind anybody doing all the extra rewards and the add-ons and all that stuff. To each his own. There have been some, not yours, and I'm telling you the truth, not yours. That's not how I feel about your campaign and your art and your concept and your idea and your passion. But I've seen some where they really, really overcompensate with all the swag. It's like you get more swag than you get comic. You don't feel that way about your story. Am I correct? Because, I mean, when some people do that, it's a sign of someone who's just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Right.
And so it looks like to me with the interior art that you have that you're not doing it because you're just doing it because this is a passion for you.
Yes, I don't have keychains. I don't have all that other stuff. I just have.
No, I'm glad you don't. No, I'm just that's the only thing. Do you have any type of like apprehension about something like that?
Yes, because
okay.
I really want to focus.
Why do you have apprehensions about that?
Because I really want my focus is the story. It's the comic, and so that's why I was like, you know what, I will do something as a stretch goal if we get to a certain threshold, but I really want everybody to focus on the comic. This issue 1 is 27 pages. It's not your standard 24 pages. It's 27 pages, and every issue gets more. It grows, and so wow. And there's a lot of heart there. So my purpose is forbidden the story, not all of the goodies, because I'd rather have everybody just get the basic pledge and get the book than try to get all the swag, because the book is most important, because if they like the book, they're going to recommend it to a friend.
I already like you. I just liked you more because you said that.
Thank you, sir.
I mean that. No, I mean that from one pro to another. I know exactly what that is, because it's like that there's a fine line between that. There's a fine line between marketing and like really hard marketing for everything else, like multi-level and all that stuff. It's good. And I find it very heartening to hear that this is a story that you want people to pay attention to, instead of anything along those lines where it's like, a keychain that glows in the dark and acts like luminol in case you don't slip on anything. You know what I mean? It's just, it's like, good. Stick one professional to another. Trust me, stick with that, and you will have more backers and you'll have more people really interested in your book. Trust, because that really, if you really get down to the nitty-gritty of it, that's the only thing that can bring people to your book.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, I didn't want to get caught up in that rabbit hole, because you look at all these things and you feel like, do I have to do this? You don't want to do it, but you're like, everybody's doing it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to focus. You know what? I'll have original pages available if for the art collectors from the book, but I'm really focusing on the art and the story.
Nicely done. Make sure those are rewards or perks that you can throw in there. Oh, they work. They work. With the advent of a lot of people doing nothing but a lot of digital monitor drawing stuff and all that stuff all the damn time, traditional art is at a premium. Make sure you get that out as much as you can. Please do so. That is excellent. Pops, do you have anything? I'm sure you have a whole bunch of stuff to add because I just talk everybody's ears off. I don't want to shut up.
Rich, you're doing just fine.
Oh, I'm aware of that, but I'm
doing
running
just
out of
fine.
oxygen.
My focus when I look at this whole campaign, okay, I love the fact that it's the interior art, okay. It's you bring something out here for us to look at. You give a little story with it too for preview book 0, a little bit of a page for preview book 1, you know, a little, and then when you get to these covers, you see the gold cover, the holofoil cover, the standard cover, gold cover again, sketch cover. We love the sketch covers. Now you got blanks as well, right?
Yes, that's a commission sketch covers.
Right. See, look, there's a lot of artists out there, and everybody loves taking a shot at drawing a cover for somebody else's book. You know, I find that those blank covers seem to go a lot. They seem to go, you know, because once people get a rapport with your character,
yeah,
then the creative people are like, oh man, I wonder how it'd look if I drew that, you know, and there it goes. Fan art has become a huge part of the indie scene.
yes, and I've been fortunate enough to get about 5 pieces from really talented artists out there. That's in issue 0. So you're gonna see some of the other artist renditions of the characters in issue 0 on the back of the book.
Nice. So where does it go forward? I mean, do you have like possibilities of one-shot spin-offs? Is it going to stick to these main
So yeah,
characters?
it has the potential to spin off, and because there's a cliffhanger at the end of the issue 6, which is so it's volume 1 for the graphic novel. And so where I leave it, it leaves the audience with a lot of questions. What what will happen next? And um, so again, they that their response will dictate what I do next with this project, whether I go full force with the comic or I decide to write it as a prose and try that arena and try to build another audience around it.
Well, I'm kind of looking forward to where this goes. Now that I've had a chance to talk to you, had a chance to look at this. But see, I was watching Catch the Crazies too, you know, because you were on JD's show. You know, I mean, I've been following what you've been doing. You've been posting in the madness for dang at least a year now, right?
Yes, since I've come back. Yes.
You know, and you faithfully drop that link, even if nobody hits a like on it. You drop it there so people can see it, and I encourage people all the time, just do that. Just put it where people can see it. You know, you do a great job of self promotion, and I try to encourage everybody that does what you guys do. And Rich is great at it too. You guys go out there and you make sure to do your best to get seen and make sure that your projects get seen.
Yeah.
I can't even express it enough. I say it all the time. You know, exposure is king. It is king for everybody. You know, especially
as long
right
as it's not
now.
near a children's pool, exposure is just fine.
So welcome to Monday Madness, y'all, with Pops and the Richness.
Now I know where
there
the
we go.
madness comes from.
Thank you. You're right. Oh boy. Okay, I just had to like put some new ink in there and stuff like that. Okay. Now, if I may ask, this is what issue are we up to now?
This is issue 1. This is book 2, but it's issue 1.
Right.
So
okay, when's the release for book 2 or issue 2?
Issue 2 would be in the fall.
Okay, like what, around September, October?
I'm looking at, where are we now? August, September, October, end of October, beginning of November.
Be careful. That's Black Friday. How long are your campaigns usually?
30.
Okay, that's going to cut into Black Friday.
Yeah.
Make sure that if you're going to do something like that, make sure that you do it at the. I mean, do what you will. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I just want you to avoid any of that Black Friday crap, because then everyone's going to spend everything on everything else.
Right.
I want you to. I mean, I'm sure you probably realize that at some point. I just want to make sure that you get the optimum for your campaign, because this is a campaign that is not to be missed. This is a book.
Hold up, Rich. You know me. I'm kind of an idea man, and I see things in a little bit different way now.
Please.
I look at this like, if you do cross over that Black Friday weekend, you make sure you have a Black Friday tier. And you tell everybody, yo, while you're out spending that Black Friday money, I got a Black Friday tier on my campaign.
Why didn't I think of that?
Why did I think of that?
This is what I do, Rich. This is what I do all day, is try to think of ways to help everybody sell more fucking books, dude. That's all I do. Somebody gives me a little thing like that, a little opening like that, my mind starts rolling right away. How can I turn that to a positive? How can you see what I'm saying? It's like, that's just the way my mind works. With now that I've been doing this for a while now, and man, every person I talk to, almost, I come up with I see something, I come up with something, and I'm like, I have to say it. I have to bring this out into the light. This has to be, seen. Just like what happened the other night when I said, we need to start simulcasting these launch parties and these countdowns, so that everybody's audience knows that the Forbidden is counting down today. Not just the audience of the one guy who's showing it. Everybody's audiences need to know.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm encouraging the simulcasts on the launches and the countdowns too. I mean, the idea came out of the blue, but it's something to benefit everybody and help everybody sell books. That's all I'm trying to do. So if you do cross Black Friday, you pull them in. You use Black Friday.
Nice.
That's,
yeah, I know. Because I was listening to you talk earlier, and you were talking about what months to avoid, and I was like, well, that's me. I said, I'm going into that threshold. I was like, but there's a lot of moving parts,
right.
So that's why the date is fluid right now. But I definitely I'm going to release 2 before the year end.
Cool.
So this way, in this year, there was 3 issues that they were able to get in their hands. I think.
Well, if you can keep up getting 2-3 issues a year into people's hands, your fan base is just going to continue to grow. It's that 2-year, 3-year hiatus that loses people's interest. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they find other things to get behind. Everybody wants the never-ending story. Okay? Right. Everybody wants that just like we had back in the day, man. Every comic book had that cliffhanger. Yes. The reason to buy the next, even if it was the end of a storyline, they showed you, guess who's coming. It's like they gave you a reason to buy that next book, and then they got that next book to you next week, or next month. It was like like clockwork. You knew when it was coming. Yes. You guys come out and you say, I'm going to do this, give you a book every 4 months, and you give us a book every 4 months. We're going to be there every 4 months waiting for that book.
Right.
As long as there ain't no 2 years in between theirs.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's the great thing about having a finished product, is that it's guaranteed to get every 3 months to Kickstarter or crowdfunding and get into people's hands. And then once the campaign's over, they can go and purchase it off my website. Anybody who didn't pick up the book.
So go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, how they can find you. And I'm going to introduce you to our next guest after you're done.
Sure. So, Catch the Craze, anywhere on social media, just Catch the Craze with a D-A, not a T-H-E. But you can also visit my website, crazycomics.com. That's with 2 E's and not a Y. crazycomics.com, and you'll find everything where I'm going to be as far as conventions. You'll be able to get commission art, my books, everything's there. Check out Catch the Craze on YouTube, our podcast, and we're also streaming on Spotify. I'll be at EternalCon in the 7th and 8th, and on Sunday I will be on a live panel with the Comic Book School and Buddy Scalera, and we're going to be doing an art, basically creating a characters and based on the feedback from the audience. So that's going to be cool. And then check out Ambient Con at the end of the month. It's a virtual con, and I'll be doing a podcasting panel with them as well. And if you want a discount to Ambient Con, just put in code CDC4321 and you'll get a discount for Ambient Con.
All right. Dude, that's awesome. Let me get this one thing. Let me get your banner back up here again real quick.
Don't forget to put it.
Bro, give me a minute. I got to turn my cell phone off and I'm going to go onto the other camera. All right?
All right, brother.
I'll be back in a minute.
All right. So, yeah, Forbidden, everybody. Check out Sam's book. You're going to love it. Go check it out. Sam, do you know Professor Murf?
What's up, Sam?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Madness. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, you bet. Professor Murf has a book called War Party on Indiegogo. If you don't know about it, go check it out. Sam, it's great talking to you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Make sure you look out for next month when we sign up CromCon. Get yourself a spot, brother.
Absolutely. I'll be settling into Texas, so I'm going to be needing some things to do.
All right. Take it easy. All right. Professor Murf, this is the first time I've got to talk to you, but I've seen you on a lot of streams, bro. I've been following you for a while. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm, voice is going, but I kind of gave you a little heads up on that, but I'll do my best.
Yeah. Well, we're just gonna dive right into it because I'm kind of excited about looking at this one. So, I don't know if you heard earlier, but I'm gonna. Yep. Am I back now? What happened? That was weird. Hello.
There we are.
Wow, that was weird. I was just spinning. I was like, what happened?
All right, I'm here. Yay. That's good.
We'll blame it on Crom. It's always Crom's fault, man. If you're not familiar with Crom, he is our resident troll. Our resident troll. That's Crom right there. See?
Nice.
And he causes a lot of havoc. He's the comic-related madness mascot, if you will. And he causes all kind of problems all the time for us. Kicks us offline, kills the power. Just, he's just your regular little gremlin. He's no fun for nobody. But, we have this to look at, y'all. And
What to look at?
Rich, Professor Murph's having a voice issue. He's having, a voice issue. So we're going to talk about this, and we're going to try to keep his.
Well, if he has a voice issue, why can't we see his face?
No, you're not hearing me.
I got
what the hell,
voice
man?
and
That's
face
confusing.
issues.
It's like, I can't talk, so he can't look at me.
No, he's not. He's losing his voice.
I'd have to get dressed.
Oh. So how come the camera's not on there, big boy?
Basically,
the expressions of the opinions are not solely.
Yeah, we got to keep this PG, guys.
I'm trying not to.
Rich, can you see that?
Can I see what?
Let me drop that link into the chat. So you can go look at
War Party.
Yeah.
It's a romance.
Can you see that?
There is some romance, yes.
How about that? I'm such a dick. This is really wow. You thank you. You got me. Good job. I love. Holy God. 42,618 USD by 1,068 backers.
Yeah, it's doing pretty well.
No, really?
Yeah.
This has been in demand. This one's been in demand for a while, but what you had almost 15,000
Yeah, I'm
on the
actually
campaign originally?
I'm an example of what you can do in demand. I mean, you
Yes.
see it
Look at
wasn't that high when it closed. It was just under. I mean, it wasn't even. So you know, if you just keep pushing and going out there and promoting and hustling, you can triple your backers in demand. It is possible.
Yeah, I have an Indiegogo coming up in a week for my graphic novel, and the in-demand option was placed there. Now that you've said that, that's something I'm strongly looking into. This is no. I would just for the sake of like, if you continuously, you can continuously have it coming on. This is really impressive work.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Who are you, the writer or the artist on this thing?
I am the writer and the artist. It's just me and a
Good
colorist.
God, I quit. I quit.
Cut it out,
I
Rich.
fucking quit. Oh my God, really? If you say you do the coloring on this, I'm gonna leave this thing forever.
I do have a colorist, so it's a 2-man team.
Oh, thank God you're mortal.
But no, it's
what's the name of it again? What's the name of the title again?
Say what?
What's the name of the title?
Oh, War Party. Yeah.
War Party. Okay, I'm gonna go look at War Party and probably cry because I'm not. I'm a damn good artist, but I don't think I'm as good as this. Shit.
Well, I've been drawing since I was a little kid, so. I mean,
so was I. What's your excuse? So was I there. Show off. Let me see something there. God, give me a second.
I will be at MegaCon in a couple weeks in Orlando. I don't know if
whatever you do, don't come to the UK because I just won't show up at the same ones that you're at. So, give me a second. One second. Let me take a look. I have to take a look at this. This first image just blew my mind.
Right. While you're looking, we're going to talk. We do have a lot of fans in the Florida area. We have a couple of comic stores that are part of the madness. See, the what we do originated out of a Facebook group, Murph.
Gotcha.
It's called the Comic Related Madness. I created it like at the end of 19, and COVID kind of changed it from a hey, look what I got group to a hey, let's help everybody promote what they're doing because nobody's setting up any tables. You see, so the group changed its direction, and I've been doing this ever since Emerald City went down. Doing these cons once a month. I do a weekly, 2 weekly shows and CromCon once a month, and it's like we work at it, man. And I see something like this. Somebody's got 42,000, and yeah, I'm like I get jacked because I know that. There are so many people in our group and so many people that, that I follow on Twitter and stuff that can be doing this. They just have to be seen, have the patience, go out there and put in the work.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I do not have a big channel. I do not have a big Twitter following. I didn't even have a Twitter account when I launched this campaign. Didn't even have one. So this is an example of what you can do with practically no audience. If you just get out there and go on every single stream you can get on, promote, offer your backers what they like, gauge what they want and give them what they want, and you will see the rewards. And this is a prime example of how to do that.
This is fantastic work.
It is.
You're Justin Murphy, Mr. Murphy. It's an fuck me. This is the part where I become a bitch. It is an honor to meet you. You are stellar.
About the fanboy. He's about the fanboy.
Really appreciate that.
You are stellar. Every once in a while, I fanboy all over the floor, and I have to clean it up. And, and I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at Jesus Christ.
This is
the action here. Every panel that you have has motion. Every single thing has some sort of forward motion, and there's even a little bit of divergence in the direction that some of the characters go, which just centers more on the focus on some of the other characters that seem like they're the important parts. This is really good work.
Well, it's funny you mention that because I'm actually an animator. I've been animating for 7 years.
Oh, no wonder.
So,
oh God, no wonder.
no, it's true. I mean, so it does help to have a cinematic understanding of where to move the camera and action.
Oh yeah,
when
it
you're doing
sure as hell
comics.
does. God bless it. One of my, I don't know. I'm sure you've heard of him. Maybe you probably did. One of my greatest influences, Paul Smith. You know who that guy is?
I'd probably be familiar with his work, but the name doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, Paul Smith was at Paul Smith. When I first saw his work, he was the penciler for the X-Men way back in 1982, and
wow.
he was absolutely fantastic. But what I didn't realize, his storytelling really caught me when I was a kid, and really guided me into how I'm supposed to draw comic books. I didn't find out until much later that he was not only the art director and the storyboard artist for Lord of the Rings, the animated movie, but also for American Pop.
Oh, nice. And Ralph Bakshi. Yeah.
Yes, he helped Ralph Bakshi. So I'm just like, God damn, this guy's good. And by you just saying that with what you have here, it's very easy to see as to how and why you're able to tell a story as well as you do. I'm looking at this frame. I'm looking at this thing right over here, where the girl is hiding behind the tree, and then there's this humanoid, whatever it might be, looking for her. I'm assuming it's her. The way you have that framed, and the way the colorist put a little bit of atmosphere, further pushing back that character, and her just hiding there, just being as quiet as she can. That's
you talking about the waterfall? You talking about the waterfall?
I'm at the I'm scrolling down the page. It's after the one where the wolf is barging out of something. He's in chains, but he's breaking the chains as well.
Okay.
Something along those lines. And it's like, I'm just looking at this small thing, and this small thing on top of one of the pages here with the overlay of a cover and a couple of other images here. It's something like this that captures my eye, because that means you know what the hell you're doing, and you really do.
Well, thanks. I mean, my influence was Michael Golden. I used to read G.I. Joe, and of course, if you want to talk about you want to talk about action. I mean, he's the master of making things look like they're moving on the page. I mean, he'd even bend vehicles. He'd like make tanks bend like they were made of rubber sometimes, just for the sake of making it look like it moved. But he actually did one of my variant covers. So my variant cover package, he does the cover with the eagle character on it. So that was quite an honor for me to get him to work with me on this.
This is great work. I'm loving every single page here.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Very much so. This is. I know what's going on without the words in the pages.
Yeah, you got to be visual.
That if I get wow. All right. Well, go to In Demand for War Party. You must, because it would be a terrible waste of money on something else if you don't spend it on this.
I'm actually fulfilling in the next 2 weeks. What I've done is it's a 6-issue miniseries. So instead of doing one book and just shipping out one big book, I'm shipping the first 3 issues this month in August as well. And then I'm shipping the last 3 issues near the end of the year. So they're going to get 2 shipments, 1 through 3 and then 4 through 6. But I've also got a handbook that kind of gives a sort of like a Marvel Universe kind of thing, where it gives bios and all that stuff. And then I've also got an issue 0, which actually there's only 10 copies left of issue 0. I did 250 copy limited run, 10 are left. Once they're gone, that's it. There's not going to be any more reprints. Now that's a secret perk. So when a backer backs, the first thing I do is I send them a link to that secret perk. And if they want 0, they add 0 to their order. But like I said, there's 10 left. So it's, I can't complain. I mean, I had 250 copies on a secret perk and they've almost sold out. And I mean, I know some campaigns are happy to get 250 backers, much less sell 250 copies of a secret perk. So this is not my first campaign as far as crowdfunding. I've done animation, but this is my first comics campaign. I've never launched a comic book on Indiegogo or Kickstarter. So this is a sign of things to come if I'm doing these kind of numbers on my first campaign. I'm very excited.
Justin, you really should. That this is a very good investment, because it's a very good investment in time, because this is going to branch out to everything that you were doing before and farther. This is really, really fantastic work, and I can only imagine what the story is going to be like. I have to remember, I had a successful Kickstarter just a little while ago, like a couple of days ago, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm going to set aside some money to back some of these things. I have to make sure I type War Party into it because I'm really interested in how the story is going to unfold and everything else. Because this is just stellar work.
Thanks. I mean, I can bit of.
Oh my God, you got action figures?
Yeah, they're all sold
that's
out.
so awesome.
Yeah, Ethan Van Sciver actually bought one of them. I only did 10 of them, and they sold out in 48 hours. They sold out. Can you believe that?
Sick fuck.
But yeah, so I mean, Diane, she's my the shaman character. She's my IP. I mean, she's my main character. So what I'm going to do is take her through different periods of history. So we're not just stopping at the French and Indian War. That's just this series. But she's kind of like my Scott Bakula, Quantum Leap character, where she finds herself helping people throughout time with their shape-shifting abilities, so to speak. She finds out what your totem is, whatever your totem animal is, that's what you're able to turn into. And using her power but she puts together a pelt made of the skin or the DNA of that animal. That's how she's able to transform you into.
Get out!
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
I give. Holy! I was gonna. Wow. All right. I'm gonna shut up before I embarrass myself any more than I am.
Well, you remember the Hulk TV show? The
one with Bill Bixby?
Yes.
Oh Christ! Yeah, I was baby. Well, I was like 8 or 9 when that.
I was like 5 or 6 when it came out. I was like 77, 78, 79. Yeah. I never forgot that feeling you get as a little kid when some bullies or whatever would throw him in a gravel pit or something, and it's coming. You're like and he's telling them not to. And you see the eyes change and the music, that sound effects and the music kick in, and you're just like, you're cheering as a little boy because you can't wait to see that Lou Ferrigno bust out of that pit and just make short work of those guys. That's kind of what's prompted this. Old werewolf movies. I love seeing guys turn into things that are much more powerful than they are to take on the bad guys.
Oh yeah.
And the motivation is the guy's little girl has been taken, and she's going to be sold to the French. There's sort of a Marquis general that works that's in the French army. He likes little kids. And so his daughter's being sold to the French, and he's got to go rescue her. And he ends up having to fight the French and the British. And of course, you're not going to do that, with muskets. And a group of 5, you need a little help. So this is where
flowers at the British, I mean, you throw flowers at the French.
Not back then. You couldn't. They could actually fight back then.
They could. Oh yeah. Wow! What the hell happened?
I don't know. Napoleon, I think was.
I guess because the French are such great warriors, and all of a sudden they're pussies.
After Napoleon got beat in Russia, it all went downhill after that. But no. So needless to say, if you're going to take on 2 armies, and they need a little help. So.
Yeah.
But the shapeshifters are cool. They grow about twice the size of a human being, so they get about 11 to 12 feet tall. They're not impervious to harm, but they're really tough.
Yeah, that's really cool. That really is. Well, let me ask you a question. When they transform into these creatures, do they retain their intelligence, or
yes,
is it like not so much dumbed down, but dulled a little bit?
No, they can speak. They still have their wits about them. They know who they are.
All right,
communicate.
Cool.
The difference is whatever your deepest sort of hidden desires or inclinations are, they're enhanced. So if you're an aggressive individual, become more aggressive. If you're, a protective individual like the bear guy, you're going to become even more protective or whatever. It's going to enhance what you are, but you're still you. You're not just running around tearing everything down like the Incredible Hulk. So that I wanted to do it that way because I wanted them to be able to communicate. I wanted them to still not just to be mindless beasts running around. They still have to have strategy and and be characters, so to speak. But there's a panel down there. I kind of took my lead off the symbiote from Spider-Man. The pelt comes alive when You have to drink some of Diane's blood. It's mixed in with some wine or whatever. She'll mix it with something to make it palatable. You have to consume part of her blood because she's the power source. And then what happens is the pelt comes alive and attacks the host. It's like it merges with you. So it basically consumes your body. It's a very painful experience. You know, if you scroll down, Madness, you'll see where the pelts, the fangs of the wolf on the pelt are actually sinking into the guy's eye sockets. But it's merging with him. You go down, keep going. A little bit more right there on the left there. It's hard to see, but the pelt's basically biting down into his eyes, and then
I see.
It's consuming him, right? So that's what happens. You merge with the DNA of whatever the creature is. So if it's a wolf, it's got to be it's got to have a wolf's fur and wolf bones and things like that. You got to realize this is based on.
I see it. Oh wow!
I'm looking at this right here. All 6 issues, complete set, $25, y'all.
Yep. They're
all 6 issues,
$4 a pop. Yeah.
$25.
Yeah.
Look. You want to get caught up on this? That's how you do it. Right there.
I'm charging the same amount of money you would pay for these books if you bought them in a comic book store. They're $3.99 each. That's basically what you're paying. I did not want to charge. I understand crowdfunding. You're trying to fund a project, and a lot of books have to inflate their costs. I get it, but for this being my first outing, I wanted to make sure that the backers were basically paying exactly what they'd pay in a store. Obviously, with the shipping added, but I mean, they're shipping, of course. But other than that,
per issue?
How
many pages per issue?
They're at least 22, at most 32. Some of them have, like the last issue is 32 pages. It's 160 pages total. It was originally 140, but then when I hit 40,000, I added 20 more pages as a stretch goal. So we're looking at 160 pages of story and art for $25.
$25.
Yeah.
$25. Gotta love it.
Well, you gotta, I wanted to give people a deal. I get it. I didn't do this first campaign necessarily to make a big profit. I did it to build an audience. And then the follow up, then I'll make money one day. It's not a problem. But right now I just want to give people a lot of content for their money.
You're definitely succeeding at that. The last guy needs to talk to this guy. What are you talking about?
Well, what I did.
No, I'm trying to figure out what he's saying. The last guy needs to talk to this guy about how to do a campaign. This guy's done $24,000 or $42,000. I don't think he needs to talk to nobody. He's got it going on. The last guy's doing okay. He's, look, everybody figures it out. Look, this has been active for a year. It's right. I mean, active for almost a year. So.
It takes time. It didn't happen overnight.
When you go out there and you work and you work and you work at it, and if that last guy works at it like Murf worked at it, that's you can expect better. You can expect solid results if you put that kind of work into it.
I was only at just over 6,000 at the end of my first 30 days. Now, I know guys who make 6,000 their first day.
Yeah.
It took me 30 just to make 6,000. And I mean, or then you can look at somebody like Billy Tucci who can pull in 80 grand in a day. It just depends on, your reach.
Yep.
I didn't have a reach. I had no reach at all. And I really still don't. It's been an avalanche. And what's interesting about this campaign, it's been a slow burn. It was never a big sort of explosion at once. It just gradually, it's kind of like the snowball rolling down the hill, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It never stopped rolling. You know what I mean? And it still hasn't. I mean, I've made $1,000 in the past week and a half, and I haven't even been streaming for 2 months. So that's my point. Is it's got momentum.
Good for you. That's truly you're inspiring me to work even harder than I already do at this point. Thank you for that kick in the butt, man. I mean that because my last campaign was rough because I decided to do more in less time than I did for the first thing that I did, and I made it with the help of some friends, of course. But still, it's sometimes it's a hard road. And then when you do something like this, when I see something like this, and it's like how deftly you're able to maneuver around that, it's really inspiring. I'm very happy that you're here as a guest. Thank you. Really.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, man. I mean, obviously, the most important thing is the artwork. I mean, that's what it all. It's weird because concept is important. Some concepts don't have broad appeal. They just don't. They're a niche thing. I tried to create something that I felt had a broad appeal. Now, I know not everybody cares about werewolves. I get it. So it's not, I know not everybody likes historical things that take place in the past. I get that. But overall, it's turned out that it is something that's pretty, that's fairly broad. I mean, the numbers are showing that. So once you find that thing that catches on, you go with it. You know what I mean? Don't hold back, because I've seen other campaigners, they'll launch things that are really successful, and then they go off and they do other stuff that isn't as successful. I'm like, why did you stop promoting the thing that was working? Stay with the thing that's working. You know what I mean? So I've got 4 more books planned, 4 more series planned in this universe with this character. I'm not going anywhere. I'm but I'm all right now. Yeah, a little bit of lycanthropy. I got it. Yeah. So yeah, just strike while the iron's hot, and that's kind of what I tried to do, and so far it's done me well.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, you kind of like blown us away, man. I didn't know that you.
Yeah. This
I didn't know this art was this intense, man. But then that's why I say it's kind of one of the reasons I avoid looking at them ahead of time, because I want you to see my actual response. I don't want you to get like some plastic review or whatever. I'm looking at this and I'm just blown away. Part of it's speechless. I don't even know where to go.
Well, it's a lot of work. I've been working on it for a couple years now, before I launched. So, you're looking at a lot of time. I mean, anybody that's an artist and does comics understands it takes a long time to draw this stuff. And just planning a page, just planning out a panel, deciding where to put the camera, getting your reference together, making sure it's clear and understandable, getting your proportions right, leaving enough space for how much dialogue. There's so many things you have to think about.
That's very true.
It's exhausting. I mean, making comics is hard, but let me tell you what, being an animator is even harder. So animation prepared me for this, because for me, this is almost like a break from animation, because I can draw a scene on a page in a day that would take me months to animate. Right. So, it is still shorthand work, even though it's very labor intensive. But and I wanted to let you know, because you said you have some retailers possibly. I do have a retailer tier. It's just hidden. It's not on the page.
Okay.
But I can throw that link in the private chat if you want me to. And if you want to share it, you can.
Do you Facebook? Murf, do you Facebook?
Not anymore. I used to be, but I closed my account with them. But I am on Twitter. I am on, I'm still on Instagram.
I just want you to know that when I do this, you do gain a footprint on Twitter, because that's where most of what I do, on Facebook, because that's where most of what I do originates from.
Gotcha.
So, there's going to be people going, how come I can't find this guy on Twitter or on Facebook?
Yeah. I also have a YouTube channel. They just need to look up Professor Murf, and I'm there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Make sure they know your Facebook, or I mean your Twitter is at Professor Murf, right?
The Twitter's it's actually at Rampart Press. Rampart Press is my publishing company. So RAMPART Rampart, like a castle rampart. Yeah, but I sent you the link. Now the retailer tier is 50% off, but they have to order a certain number of copies. It's like a bulk order.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
But retailers tends to be hard to get retailers to do crowdfunding. I understand why, because it takes so long to get your books.
I got it. Oh, you want me to stop?
What?
All right.
Rich is talking to somebody else, I think.
I'm sorry. That was. I apologize.
You're all right.
Thank you, honey.
Rob says, just out of interest, what is your opinion of putting a price box on your book? Does it make it more appealing for retailers? Is that your experience?
Yes, it does. I have UPC codes, ISBN numbers, barcodes on all my issues on the front cover. Retailers like the ease of just being able to ring it up, on the register. And plus, it comes up on the database, the price, the publishing, the company, the title, everything. All that's been done. So the books will actually have, barcodes and ISBN numbers on the front.
Nice.
Most crowdfunding books don't do that because they don't need to. But I have every intentions of getting these in stores, whether it's through Diamond or whoever.
I guess I better jump in here then with some plugs. Liberty Distribution.
I've tried them, but at their website I can't get anywhere.
Okay, let me help you out because they're my friends.
That would be great. I'd like to talk to them.
Let's see. Let me just do this real quick. Pretty sure that's it. lebg.us. Oh, I think that's it. No, I have to go find out. Every time I put it into my search engine, it goes right to their stuff. So.
Yeah, I don't know if they're revamping their site or what's going on.
Oh, dude, they're taking off. They got the warehouse. It's all blowing up over there now. Yeah, that works right there. That link.
All right.
That's Varian. Arrow Point 4.0 Comics is signed up with them.
Yeah, I saw that. So is Russ Leach. His book is with them. I saw that as well. Yeah,
exactly. He signed on with Arrow 4.0, but they got a huge ass warehouse. He was out buying some of those worker stations for they're actually going to work. I love it. I'm glad to see it. There's thousands of books on their way to that warehouse right now.
Yeah, I think we need to get our books in stores as much as possible. I mean, you don't make as much money, obviously, because you're having to give a discount, but the exposure you get, the readers you attract, the eyes on your book, that could potentially come and support. I don't know what happened. He disappeared. I'll answer some questions. Rob G. Price Tunes, you said, what's a UPC? UPCs for periodicals like magazines and comics. So anything that comes out monthly or weekly or bi-monthly would have a UPC. The ISBN is actually for books, like actual books, graphic novels, books. The reason why I put both on there is because these are really not periodicals. Even though there's 6 issues, you can call them issues. I'm not releasing them on a monthly schedule. I'm releasing them all at once. So they're almost just like mini books, So by putting an ISBN on there, they qualify as being a book, like a graphic novel, versus being a periodical, like a traditional comic book that would actually come out, May, June, July, August. So that's the difference.
Nice. All right, I do want to bring our next guest up in here, Will, because Will's campaign is ending in like minutes, right? Minutes?
Got 86 minutes left on it.
6 minutes left on it?
Can you hear me?
All right,
86
everybody.
minutes.
You better set up a counter.
Oh,
a count,
80,
a timer.
86? All right. Let me see.
Yes.
Let me get this up here. You know anything about heel turn,
I'm all,
Professor Murf?
No, I'm gonna look it up right now though.
Yeah.
Is that on IGG or?
Inc.pub/Hilton.
Okay.
Hey, Pops.
Yes.
There is something that I have to take care of. It's rather important. Would you mind if I cut out for the last half?
All right, bro. You're out.
I'm sorry about that, Pops. It's something that because then I'll just be interrupted a couple more times. I don't want to bother the show.
All right.
All right.
Have a good night, bro. Thanks
Talk
for
to
coming
you.
out.
Great meeting you, Professor Murf.
You too,
And
man.
Will, congratulations, and I'll tear my chest up later. So bye.
Yeah, we'll be doing that real soon. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
I'm
that.
aware of that. Don't remind me. Bye.
Bye.
Take it easy, sir. So yeah, Professor Murf, this is Will Peden of the book Heel Turn, which is I'll let him tell you. I ain't gonna. Go ahead, talk about it.
So, Hilton is about a guy named Ethan. He works a normal job.
Rocky.
He's on the weekends. He's a independent professional wrestler, but he has a little bit of a sadistic side that many don't ever get to talk about. He's a serial killer. So it's Dexter meets professional wrestling. When I woke up this morning, I was about $350-ish shy of goal. I've gained about $1,000 today and about 10 backers on top of it. We are successfully funded as of this morning. We have like 80 something minutes left on it. And we've already met one stretch goal, and I've got a $3,000 stretch goal. We only had $366 on it to get to it, but I have a $3,000 stretch goal of if we hit the $3,000 mark, every backer, no matter if you're a physical or digital reward backer, every backer will have the opportunity to be drawn on the cover of the variant in the crowd.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm getting growled at right now. Like, what, dude? What, Rock? Why? You need to go outside or something? Well, tell that little kid right next to you. Yeah, I think he wants to go out. Make sure the other dogs aren't out. Let him out. That's one of them.
Don't you just love it?
So does Kickstarter let you extend your campaign another 30 like Indiegogo does, or once your 80 minutes is up,
No.
that's it?
Nope.
A Kickstarter, I've done my 30 days. That's all you get, and it's all or nothing platform. If I wouldn't have hit my goal, I would have got $0 from it.
Now they don't let you go. Do they let you
But
set up
no.
a store like in demand or no?
No.
God, man,
No.
they cut you off, don't they? Wow.
Well, see, the thing is like Kickstarter gives you that.
I'm looking at going to Indiegogo after.
I would highly recommend it because let me tell you, man, I've tripled my backers in demand. If it had not been for in demand, my campaign would have stopped dead at $14,000.
Right.
So
and that's
you
the
make
thing.
so much more money.
There are people that are looking toward, I want to get on to my next book. I want this one to just be over. I don't want to have to worry about it. I want to go on to my next book. And that's what they do. And then there's people that are like, hold on. I want to squeeze this lemon and get all the juice out of it before I go on to my next book. You see?
Yeah.
You want to get it into as many hands as possible, right?
Kickstarter won't let you come to them after you've already done Indiegogo. You got it. So you've done it the right way.
I've seen people do it going back that way too. But the right way to do it, obviously, is to go Kickstarter and then Indiegogo. So you use both platforms and then you're in demand.
I mean, if you choose to start with Kickstarter, you definitely can go over to Indiegogo. They don't have a problem. But I have had issues where, well, I'll tell you right now, I tried to get War Party on Kickstarter and they told me no. They would not allow me to put it on there. So
really?
Yeah, they said it does not meet their requirements. And I think it's because it's already been successfully funded on Indiegogo. They won't allow it. So
I
yeah, I mean
that's already been crowdfunded.
At least that's what they said. So maybe that's true. But yeah, if you want to try to take this over to Indiegogo next, I would highly recommend it once you get funded because I think you'll make more money.
Funded.
Oh, it's funded. Good.
Funded. Yeah,
okay,
that 8% is an old graphic.
It's old. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funded overnight.
Give it a shot, man. Go on some. I think you could raise a lot more money than that.
We actually funded this morning.
Good.
We had about 6 hours left. I had a rather large backer, and then sold the back cover ad, and I actually put a $2,500 stretch goal on, and we surpassed it. And now I've got a $3,000 stretch goal. Which a $3,000 stretch goal. I don't know if anybody heard it, but as of right now, if we hit $3,000, every backer, no matter what level you have backed us on, will be drawn onto the cover of that the Kickstarter exclusive variant cover.
That's cool.
Nice.
Pops are already there, but
yeah, I know. But and you know, I'll tell you what bothers Pops. You know, everybody knows I had a rough financial month. Okay, I didn't get to back a whole lot of projects this month. Like, you know, I try to back when I can. You know, but I couldn't back this one, and it's running out now, and I can't back it. Damn it! So you better take it to Indiegogo just so I make sure I get one eventually.
I think there's a way too. I think there's a way too where you can funnel your funds over to Indiegogo once this closes. I've heard of that. I don't know how that works, but I've heard people say that there's a way to do that. I don't, like I said, I don't know how, but I have heard people say there's a way to do that.
Okay,
I'll definitely check it out. I haven't even looked at it. I've never even looked at Indiegogo, to be honest with you, until recently. So I've got to figure it all out before I move it over. This book is completely done already. Now that we're funded, I'm going to start sending out surveys this week, so I can try to send out the digital rewards this week, and then try to get to print the standard versions. I'll get to print as soon as they pay, and hopefully by the end of Kickstarter being funded or paying, I can get the variant cover finished up and get them to print at the same time, so everybody's receiving the book right about the same time.
That's great that it's finished. Most people do not have their books completed.
I did drop this link in a couple of wrestling groups this morning.
Yeah,
Nice.
Just because wrestling fans are comic fans too, right? One of them went,
Oh, yeah.
One of them went, you ain't putting that in our group. Guess which one that was? WWE. They wasn't having it.
Oh, well, I've posted in so many horror, comic, and wrestling groups in the last 3 days that all day today, Facebook has banned me from commenting in any group. I can't even comment on your group because I'm banned from groups for a little bit. I don't know how long.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there.
I resorted to messaging people this morning.
Yeah, that's why I left Facebook. I got tired of giving them money for nothing, for little in return, promoting things.
Yeah.
So let me introduce you to.
We've been very.
I want to introduce you to the heir apparent to the comic related madness and the Madness Comic Network.
What's up, buddy?
And when I'm gone, he's going to run this show. I'm just letting you know. Is that right?
And he's gonna wear that hat too, right?
Hopefully he'll have a nicer one. I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see.
That works. Yeah.
How do you look? Huh?
Nice job.
Hopefully he'll just get a chrome hat.
This kid's head is as big as mine. He's gonna be huge, man. I'm telling you. It's gonna be huge. All right. So yeah, man. You guys go check out Heel Turn. Go check out War Party. Dude, there's some good books we had on here today, huh? Great.
Yeah,
great show.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations on funding, man. That's always the great thing.
Yeah, I think.
And just so everybody knows,
I was going to say, dropping this on Indiegogo will actually be a great idea. There are so many wrestling fans and whatnot that go through my feed. just without me even following them, just from association to comic people. You know what I mean? It's like Sergeant Slaughter followed me one day, just out of blue, and I'm like,
Nice.
okay, I'm down with that, right? But that kind of stuff is happening. So, just get it, just by all means, just get it seen wherever you can get it seen, anything and everything. But Indiegogo, the platform works. There's a lot of wrestling fans on Twitter. A lot of the Indiegogo people are Twitter based, like Murf, So, I mean, yeah, do it.
Well, and I've already got a couple of unique rewards that are going to be over on Indiegogo. I wasn't sure how the Kickstarter would go, so I didn't put them out yet. But I'm in a process of getting some replica masks made. I'm also getting Wrestle Buddies made. And then we're going to have custom turnbuckle pads that are going to be heel turn based on there.
Nice.
Not on top of, I'm already working on script 2. I'm trying to finish that up so I can get it over to Rios and get him to start working on that one. I'm shooting for October right now for book 2, maybe faster. Kind of depends on how everything goes between now and then. I got to get this one fulfilled first, but I'm also writing that script. Rios is working with the Livid Comics guys on doing Deadball, and then he's going to be with us for this one as well. Actually, we just had somebody increase just a little bit, not much. But yeah,
Come back.
So not only do you get, just wanted to say this on there. So everybody's getting already, just for us funding, we're getting a lot. You're getting a lot of stuff. So especially if you're a physical backer. If you're a physical backer, just because we hit over $2,500 as of right now, you get a heel turn koozie. Rich gets to wax his chest, just like the 40-year-old virgin side, which is worth it right there. 15 people random. I'm going to randomly select them out of the all physical backers. 15 people are going to get a copy of the Gangrel comic signed by Rich, who was the artist on it.
Yep.
And then I'm also printing our heel turn number 0, which you can download on the campaign right now for free. I'm going to print that black and white copy. It's a 5-page mini comic that you're going to get a printed copy, and it's the only time it's getting printed for a while.
Yeah, yesterday when we was on the show, Daniel, heel turn had not funded yet, and it was still 300 so light or so, and Rich said, if this one gets funded, I'll go out there and I'll do the Mano Lantern, the 40-year-old version, the 40-year-old virgin smiley face on his chest. So it funded. Guess what, Rich?
That's the real reason he left the podcast today.
He does have to go buy the stuff he needs to do it, though. But we are going to do it live on Monday Madness. You will all get to see it. So, well, I don't know. It depends. I don't know if you can handle it, boy. But, gentlemen, it's always great to see you, Will. Professor Murphy, it was awesome to meet you. Your book looks freaking amazing. Just make sure before you decide to cut it off and go on to book 2 that you let us know so everybody can grab on who didn't yet. And, I'll be promoting that one a little bit more now that I know what it's about. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'll put a countdown timer on it. So, because Indiegogo lets you do that where you can actually put a timer that tells you when it's going to close.
Yeah, just so we know and we can be on top of it, I have another show I have to do. I don't know if y'all are aware, but I do a show at 6 o'clock called Poppin' with Piper there from the Adventures of Piper. We do a show back and forth every week. We're going to go talk about Octopus Cowboy with Jason Orphalis.
Good book. And by the way, Piper's my editor on one of my books.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's what I'm talking about.
The Wolf Mama. You got to have the Wolf Mama on a werewolf book.
Yes, I did not know she was the editor, but now I get to rib her about not telling me about that too. See how that works? Her and I started a show for first timers. Okay, Will's been on it. I didn't know this was your first book, Murph, but I'm gonna have to talk to Piper about getting you on the show.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again. Appreciate it. Once again, congratulations on funding, man. And thanks for having me on, Madness.
You bet.
Thanks. Find me on Twitter at Hillturn Comic. I'd like to talk with you a little bit more, Murph, when you get a chance.
Sure, no problem. I'll go friend you.
And I will hook you up directly with Varian over there at Liberty Distribution too.
Yeah, definitely, because I'm not getting anywhere with their website.
Yeah,
So-
I'll make sure you get with those guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, you have a good night. Will?
Bye.
Will?
You have a
Go
good
tear
one,
it up,
everybody
dude.
watching. Find us on at Hillturn Comic on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We've only got like roughly an hour left on the campaign, so definitely help us get to more backers. And if we hit the 3,000 goal, everybody gets to be on the cover. So
How big is your
help us
following
get
on
there.
Twitter? How big is your Twitter following?
100 or so, maybe a little bit more. We just literally in the last probably week and a half, 2 weeks, have just started our Twitter and trying to figure it all out. I've been using it more now, but I definitely have learned a lot from Twitter and Instagram.
Cool. All right, I will be in touch, sir. You go kill this last hour, man. Just tell the world it's almost over. Come get
I'm
some.
gonna send it out everywhere. I'm probably gonna live stream on myself, so just here on Facebook or Twitter. I don't know which one yet.
One thing you can do is you can grab a hold of one of them posts that already exists in the group and try sharing it out from there.
I'll try that since Facebook has got me
What,
banned.
like a post that
I can
I
share it on my
created?
personal page, and I can face it. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm gonna try to see what it'll let me do, but I can't share two groups as of right now. Facebook says you can't do that. So, but I've been tagging people. I've been contacting people through messages, and so
try to grab one from out of the group that I posted, not that you posted, and try to share it and see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, bro. All right.
Yep.
You have a good night.
Definitely will.
I'm
I
gonna do
appreciate
my
it.
commercials
Y'all have a
and
good
I'm
one.
gonna go. All right, you too. It's good talking to you. Yes,
Later.
we have commercials now, dude. You didn't know that? We got commercials. Look.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Gotta have my pops.
Hello, my name is Dirk Hooper. I'm a comic artist and illustrator looking for work right now. I've been doing art professionally for well over 2 decades, and my art has been in 3 comics, several art books, novels, and magazines. And I've had work in galleries in the Netherlands, England, Belgium, China, and all over the United States. I offer comic-style illustrations, sequential art, and digital paintings on a wide variety of genres, including sci-fi, fantasy, gritty, noir stuff, and bad girls. You can find more about me and my work at Rain King Studios. Contact me today to commission your custom artwork. Thank you.